Hello everybody, this is Josephine and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be reacting to Karens versus Judges. A lot of Karens get arrested for their behavior, and when there's a pair of handcuffs, there is a day in court when they face the consequences for their actions. And sometimes they have absolute fits whenever they find out what the consequences for their actions are. And it just makes the consequences even worse than they already are. So you can pause the video for a moment and take a moment to brew yourself a mug of hot tea or some coffee. Alright, now let's get started.
In the courtroom, it's important to be on your best behavior, but these people clearly didn't get the memo. In this video, we'll take a look at what happens when Karens and other troublemakers are called into court. One of the last things you want to do when pleading your case is to insult the judge. But this first video shows the man by the name of Brian Novall who decides to break that rule anyway, and quickly finds out just how big of a mistake he made. The video opens with Judge John Hurley reading off the charges for Novall, and he's clearly not happy to hear how much he's going to owe. Rather than accepting the fines and restraining orders he rightfully deserves for threatening the victim, Novall then retaliates, first by expressing his disbelief about the whole situation. Judge Hurley stands by the ruling, clearly not about to show Novall any sympathy.
Okay. Based on the facts of the case, going after someone with a knife, court finds there is a danger to the victim. Court's going to set count 1 at $10,000. Count 2, court's going to set that bond at $10,000. Court's going to order.
Now see, a lot of narcissistic people, such as Kevin's like him, think they're perfect and they can do no wrong. So, and John Hurley is punishing him for something that he thinks is perfectly okay. So he's having a fit over it.
He has no direct or indirect contact with Jesus Novall. No direct or indirect contact. Must stay 500 feet away from him at all times.
Now, a lot of narcissists like to control other people. In this case, Novall wants to control Jesus Novall. And he's losing that control over Jesus Novall, and he hates it. So that's gotta be another reason why he's having a fit, is because he's losing his punching bag.
I'm going to order that he's not in possession of any guns, weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Court's also going to revoke his bond on 098502 CF10. You're going to be held no bond, sir, until further order of the court. Thank you.
Kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you. That's the truth. You're not going anywhere. That's the truth. All right, thanks.
As Brian Novall storms away from the stand, he swears at the judge, and he's quickly escorted back for his misconduct. Being rude in the courtroom is a definite no-no, and Hurley's fast to hold him accountable for it.
All right, Suzanne Wall.
Charge was battery.
Oh, wow, I know, man. But that's the way life is. What did he say? Whoa. Bring him back. Whoa. Bring that guy back. Bring him back.
Reminds me of that one Karen from the last video where she cussed him out and said adios. From that last video I did on Karens versus Judges. Bring him back. And in that case, he said, bring her back. I wonder if it was that same judge.
Whoa. Hey, bring that guy back.
Judge wants you back.
You want him back, Judge?
Yeah, I want him back right now. Yeah, that wasn't good.
Judge Hurley asked Novall to repeat what he said, and he openly admits to his insult. In response, the judge claims that he can hold him in contempt of court and that he finds him to be. While the man half-heartedly apologizes for his attitude, it's too late to backtrack as the judge sentences him to 60 days in jail.
So what did you just say when you...
Now, see, narcissists don't feel remorse for their actions because they are a form of a psychopath. They are a species of psychopath. So, and that's according to Institute of Human Anatomy. The video I watched a while back ago. You can see Institute of Human Anatomy into the mind of a psychopath, where they delve deep into the brain chemistry and types of psychopaths, which narcissist is one of them. He didn't feel any remorse. He was just apologizing because he knows he's in more trouble than he was before.
Walked away.
I called you a because you're...
Ooh, excuse me, sir? Excuse me? That is one of the most disrespectful things you can call somebody. I'm not even gonna say that word. I'm not gonna spell it out. But if you're a grown adult, I'm pretty sure you know what that word is. One of the worst words you could call somebody.
Did you?
Charges I had yesterday.
Okay, hold on a second, sir.
Battery charge.
Sir, this court is inclined to hold you in contempt of court, and I want to know from you, give me a reason why I should not hold you in contempt of court.
I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be, because there's not a reason it should be here.
Okay, sir, I find you in contempt of court for using that type of language with the court you just used, and before I pass sentence on you, I'm going to ask you if you have anything to say before I pass sentence.
I apologize, I was out of line. I'm just upset because this is not what I was charged with yesterday.
Okay,
I was
sir.
charged with a battery.
I accept your apology, and I will sentence you to 60 days in the Broward County Jail. Thank you.
Brian Novall jokes about taking his insult back, which only worsens his case as the judge holds him in contempt of court yet again, and this time he adds another 60 days, bringing his time in jail to a total of 120 days. It would have probably been better if Novall just kept his mouth shut. Silence is the best defense.
Can I take the back in?
All right, sir, hold it. Come on back. Come on back, sir. Sir, I'm inclined to hold you in contempt of court again. Would you like to tell me why I should not hold you in contempt of court for the last thing you just said?
I asked if you're allowed to do that for me.
All right. I find you in contempt of...
No, sir, you did. You just called him the C word again. You just lied. You did not say, am I allowed... whatever you just said. Is he allowed to do that?
Court for the second time you said that. Do you have anything else you'd like to say in mitigation of the second sentence I'm about to hand down?
I was just asking my attorney if he can do that.
All right, sir,
You did not ask your attorney anything. You called the judge the C word again.
have nothing. I'm going to send you to another 60 days to run consecutive to the prior 60 days. So now you're up to 120 days in the Broward County Jail. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Nah.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. You're done.
I didn't even know you could do that.
All right.
He sure as heck can do that. It's been proven in my previous video he can do that. It's been proven in shows. It's been proven in other court videos that he can do that. It's proven many, many times that he can do that, especially since he's in high authority.
Thank you. The judge. Keep talking. All right. I think you should move along. So it's going to be 60 plus 60, okay, to run consecutive. Thank you.
After Brian Novall spent 4 days in jail, Judge Hurley actually let Novall out of jail, believing that he learned his lesson from his court appearance. Let's hope he did.
Psychopaths and narcissists like him don't learn their lesson. They think they're perfect. They think they didn't do anything wrong. And they'll make up all kinds of excuses as to why they didn't do anything wrong. So I think he should have served his whole sentence.
Swearing at your judge isn't exactly a good idea, but laughing isn't wise either. In this next clip, we see the case of Amanda Kosal, who was convicted for drunk driving, which resulted in a fatal crash with a man named Jerome Zerker, severely injuring his fiancée too, and leaving his family devastated. During the trial proceedings, her mother was heard snickering to herself by the judge and asked to leave. Not only that, she was given jail time for her attitude.
That death and drunk driving are dangerous. They are not funny. Not funny at all. That was very disrespectful to that person's family and his fiancée. That is not funny at all.
Judge reminding everyone in court the importance of their behavior.
You can go too. Whoever can sit here at a tragic moment like this and laugh and smile when somebody has lost a family member, this is a court of law. You cannot come down to the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice and act any way you want to act. Ma'am, you are being taken into custody for criminal contempt. Your disruptive and disrespectful behavior disrupted today's proceedings, and you, ma'am, are going to the Wayne County Jail for 93 days for direct criminal contempt. Anybody else want to go? Try it.
At least this Karen decided to leave with some dignity. We can't.
With SpotMe, I can overdraft up to $200 fee-free.
Install the Chime app today.
Anybody else want to go? Try it.
At least this Karen decided to leave with some dignity. We can't say that about the next one. Going through divorce can be tough, but this Karen took it a little too badly. Starting off by arguing with the judge, things quickly escalate when she literally tries leaping across the desk to attack the judge in front of her and is tackled by security.
Miss Hardwick.
Wow. That's the last thing you want to do is argue and attack the judge. That's the last thing you want to do. And it really makes the punishment worse. Not only does it make the punishment worse, but those security guards are strong and they're quick. They will tackle anybody in seconds. So that just makes the situation worse as well. I know divorce is very stressful. It takes a toll on your mental and emotional health. But that's no excuse to attack the judge.
You will be held in contempt of this court if you become disruptive.
I haven't done anything to this court. Haven't done anything to them.
You have done some stuff to this court. You have done something to it by arguing with the judge who is in charge there.
She'll be arrested for contempt days for contempt of court. Go now.
It's always good to shoot your shot, but the courtroom might not be the best place for it, even when proceedings are taking place online. In the next video, we see a man who starts flirting with the judge convicting him, and she accepts the compliment, even looking pretty happy to receive it.
Judge, you're so gorgeous, Miss Judge. I accept it.
That is not the time to flirt with anybody. She's punishing you. That is not the time to flirt with her. He's probably trying to flirt with her so she'll give him a lighter sentence.
You're gorgeous.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Sometimes, though, it's the judges who can't hold back on what they really want to say. This judge isn't about to take it easy on the woman in this last video. Convicted of a brutal murder, the judge details her awful attack with intensity, saying that she gutted the victim like a fish, and emphasizes just how many times she stabbed him, too. Clearly horrified by her, he doesn't hold back on showing his emotions.
You gutted him like a fish in that apartment, too. You were relentless. You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed.
I do not blame him, actually. I do not blame him. I'm not going to call him a Kevin. I actually do not blame him because that is a slow, painful, and gory murder. She deserves to be chewed out and sentenced for that. She deserves to go to the underworld, the H word for that. That's sad that she actually did that.
You stabbed until he was dead.
Given life in prison without parole, the judge doubles down on the sentence by telling the convicted woman straight that he agrees with the victim's family and hopes she dies in prison. Not only that, but he claims that if it were a death penalty state, she'd be going to the chair.
I understand you have to do what you have to do.
I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, if this was a death penalty...
She deserves to die in prison. I actually agree with the judge and the family. I'm going to be exactly like him and agree with the family.
State, you'd be getting the chair.
But even with that last comment, to this day, Judge McBain has occasionally made headlines and stirred controversy, but he's kept his job. According to the elections website in Jackson County, where McBain presides, he won a fourth 6-year term on the bench in 2020 in at least the third election in which he ran unopposed. The woman in this next clip is at odds with the judge over showing up to court when she wasn't even served. The judge, understandably, is irritated because there's no reason for her to be there besides trying to get some kind of revenge. In addition, the judge even slaps her with her own fine to pay instead.
On what basis?
I remember this one from the Karens versus Judges video I made quite a few months ago. Y'all really enjoyed that video, so I'm making another one.
There is no case before me, ma'am, other than the fact that you filed this frivolous motion.
She's got other cases to handle. She's got a lot of stuff on her plate. She's got a lot of stress. I can imagine it's very stressful being a judge since they deal with all kinds of brutal crimes. And this lady who's just arguing with her is not making her life any better.
Taking up this court's time for no good reason other than your own personal vendetta against this man for whatever reason you may have, and I really don't care because it does not involve me or my court. However, had I issued a PPO, you would have...
And I bet these cases really take a toll on their mental and emotional state as well. Like that previous judge actually broke down and started chewing that killer out. I wouldn't want to be a judge because of all the brutal and minor crimes they deal with every day.
Basis to be before me. I did not issue a PPO. He did not pursue his right to a hearing on the PPO. You were never served, and here you are taking up my time so that you want me to chastise him and make him pay money? No, ma'am. Your relief is denied, and in addition to that, I am sanctioning you with costs of $500 forthwith to the county clerk's office.
In response, this Karen claims she knew it was fixed, but the judge isn't having any of that.
I knew it was fixed.
I beg your pardon?
I knew it was fixed.
Miss Stevens, I highly suggest that you just exit my courtroom and go pay the sanctions before I find you in contempt.
The lady...
Yes. Just leave and keep your mouth shut. Like you said earlier in the video, silence is one of the best defenses.
Went on to pay her fine and hopefully didn't waste anyone else's time. In this last video, we see a woman who couldn't handle the reality of being served with her sentence.
The pressure is already hard enough on the judges as it is. She just made it worse.
In a murder-for-hire plot targeted towards her ex-husband, who thankfully survived despite being shot. She looks around the courtroom in disbelief as she's given her guilty verdict. It seems like she can't accept the fact that she'll be going to prison.
We're in 8, we're in 1. Dated 11/13/17. Signed 4-person.
take a colorful journey of flavors with National's all-new recipe mixes.
Same title, same cause. Verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of attempted murder of Greg Mulvihill in violation of Penal Code Section 664/187, paren A, paren 1, as charged on count 2. We further find true the allegation that Diana Jean Lovejoy acted willfully, deliberately, and with premeditation within the meaning of Penal Code Section 189.
In the end, it seems like it's all too much for her to take, as she literally collapses in court. She's so...
Now, she should have expected this, because she should have known good and well that the attempted murder is a crime. She should have expected this day to happen. If she hates that person so badly, she could just move on with her life and keep her freedom. But no, she just had to make her life even worse than it already is. She had to make herself more miserable than she already is.
Shocked that her body seems to shut down entirely, while security try to help her to her feet again, and people look on in shock.
Verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Weldon...
Now see, I have some people that I hate, but did I have somebody go kill them? No, I didn't. I'm just getting some therapy and moving on with my life. Because I know good and well that murder for hire and attempted murder are crimes.
A. McDavid, guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder.
Alright, we're going to need to take a break. And we could have
This is a spectacle, to be honest with you.
The woman was sentenced to 26 years to life in prison for her conviction of conspiracy to commit murder. The fainting didn't rule that out. Talking back to the judge is already bad enough, but what happens if you push it one step further and give them the middle finger? Penelope Soto decided to try her luck and find out. She ends up flipping the judge off and walking away, swearing at him in the process. The judge isn't having it, and he invites her back just so he can give her 30 days in county jail.
Are you sick?
I remember this one from the last video that I did. And this is so much like the Noval case.
I am serious. Adios. Come back again. Come back again. Bring him back again.
No, that's not the same judge, like I thought it was.
I believe I heard you saying to...
Yes, I did. I'm not going to the...
I believe you... Did you say...
Actually,
Did you say that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, you did say that?
I'm not
I find you in direct criminal contempt. 30 days in the county jail.
Understandably, this clip went pretty viral. The teen became famous for her behavior in court. Luckily, it seems that following this incident, the teen learned her lesson and apologized to the judge properly for her conduct in court.
And I apologize not only to the court and you, but to my family.
Penelope went on to complete the Miami-Dade drug court program and had all charges dropped against her. In this third video, we see an inmate who also doesn't know when to stop. The clip opens with the judge explaining that the man is being held accountable for deliberately hawking up saliva, presumably on another person. He denies it, even though at the start of the video, we can hear what sounds like him preparing to do just that.
All the evidence shows that you deliberately...
Yeah, okay. I know.
The words were that you deliberately were hawking up...
Bullshit. I didn't hawk up no saliva, okay? That's bullshit. And you're going to believe those lies. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't hawk up no saliva. You're going to believe a lie because they wearing uniform.
Things get more intense as the inmate turns much more confrontational with the judge, swearing at her and saying that if she raises her voice with him, he'll do the same.
he was already swearing at her and being confrontational. I guess he's getting more confrontational as the situation escalates.
With her, the insults just keep on coming, and not just against the judge, but against the other people in the room.
Look at me.
It's like evil. You ain't gotta scream at me. You gonna raise your voice?
That is one of the rudest names you can call somebody, especially a female figure.
To me?
Oh my God.
You raise your voice to me, I raise my voice to you. You just in a road.
I appreciate Mr. Gaines making my point.
She's not just a B word in a robe. She's somebody who punishes people for their wrongdoing. And she's gonna make the punishment worse for you if you keep on going with that vulgar language. I mean, I used to use vulgar language a lot. In my earlier videos on YouTube, I used vulgar language. But I don't really use that language very much anymore.
You punk.
Very well received.
Maggot mother.
And I don't think I have to take insults from.
I know. You.
I don't think I have to take insults from.
I know. You. Use a.
He's a tough guy now.
Use a.
But I think
use a. You'll be a. After I get sentenced, huh?
I think Mr. Gaines is forfeited to me.
I think it's best you shut your mouth now, sir. You're already gonna be in jail for a long time for this. Now you're just making your sentence even longer. You only got one life to live. You don't want to sit there and rot the whole time.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. You punk.
When he doesn't stop swearing at everyone and calling them maggots, the judge orders him to be taken out of the court while he continues hurling insults until the end.
I'm talking.
You.
Take out of the courtroom.
He's a maggot.
Yeah, you're.
We're not maggots. We're people. Maggots are just fly larvae. We're more than just maggots. We're human beings.
Tough guy.
He's a maggot, punk. You should have died when you was a baby. Maggot.
Anytime, Mr. Gaines.
Shut up, punk. He's a maggot. Should have died when you was a baby. Stillborn.
So after a few minutes, Gaines was escorted from the courtroom and was later sentenced by Pilshaw via a televised hearing. Gaines, who was also HIV positive, was convicted of battery for spitting in the faces of 2 sheriff's deputies while in the Sedgwick County Jail. We're used to seeing Karens being the defendants in these situations, but what happens when a Karen is the judge herself? In this case, Tracy Hunter, a former judge who was convicted in 2014 of unlawful interest in a public contract, was quite literally dragged out of the courtroom when chaos erupted, looking pretty bewildered in the process.
I guess she couldn't handle the stress of being the judge. Because like I said earlier, there's a lot of responsibilities with being a judge. You feel the pressure of having to do your job just right. You'll face criticism if you give the wrong sentence. They deal with brutal murders. A wide range of things. Paperwork. Court days are stressful. If she gonna act that way, she doesn't need to be a judge. Gotta have a lot of patience to be a judge. anytime it gets physical in the courtroom, those guards are there and they will tackle you in no time. And they're strong too. They'll tackle anybody in no time whenever it gets physical in there.
Hunter ended up spending 75 days in jail and was released in October.
Hold up, what's going on here? Don't tell me it's gonna start. Okay. There it goes. Hope it doesn't start being slow.
Guys, I'm not supposed to be sharing this with you, so listen closely before it gets taken down. Have you heard about these healthcare allowances?
October 2019, Hunter, who's a pastor, completed a court-authorized work detail program ministering to her fellow inmates. She also received 3 days of credit for every day served. The man in this next clip, Base Webb, took things way too far in more ways than just one. Unbelievably, when he's refused further assistance from the judge, he decides to spit on her. Prior to his hearing, he also started a prison riot, assaulting officers.
There's no one ever tried this case. I have any further proceedings. I had to see you for one further second.
Base Webb was charged with common assault as well as being found guilty of third-degree assault and sentenced to 15 years in prison for his prison riot incident, along with his initial charge for being in the courtroom in the first place, found guilty for 2 counts of attempted murder, and got an additional 37 years, a total of 52 years behind bars. That spitting did him no favors, if you ask me. This next judge did—
Yeah, that kind of stuff, the cussing, the spitting, the assaulting, just makes the punishment worse than it already is. Does nobody any good.
Didn't have a lot of patience for the woman she was dealing with, and no wonder. As the judge tries to encourage her to take the courtroom oath, this Karen only keeps talking over every word until the judge loses her patience and slams her gavel down. She tells this Karen firmly that this isn't Burger King.
Thank you. Ma'am, please raise your right hand.
I remember this one. Whenever the side changes to Burger King, you could have it your way. But for now, I'm having it my way. This is my court.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? I would like to call. Ma'am, stop. I know you want to control this room.
You just say yes, not running your mouth. You say, yes, I do swear. Not anything else.
But this isn't Burger King. When the sign changes to Burger King, you can have it your way. Right now, this is my courtroom, and you will answer my questions.
The defendant doesn't take the hint, though, and just keeps on talking. The judge is forced to use her gavel again, and she insists that she needs to take the oath and be respectful if she's going to be...
Just say, yes, I do take the oath. Don't say anything else. Just be like everybody else and take the oath.
In court.
Stop. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you going to tell the truth? All right, I'll take that as silence. I understand her attorney is on here. Where is her attorney? Please don't take that. Again, say anything again without telling me you're going to tell the truth, and I will hold you in contempt of court for 93 days. Contempt carries with it 93 days and or $7,500. You will not act disrespectful in this court. Do you understand, ma'am?
Some defendants, though, will come to court even when they're not welcome there.
I don't know why every American under 65 hasn't claimed this yet. I'm basically getting paid up to $1,400 per month.
Well, okay. I guess this is the end. I thought there was more coming.
that we live in a time with such a wide variety of Karens.
Okay, was that the end? Sounded like there was more coming. I guess not. I guess that was the end. Alright, please like, subscribe, comment, and or share for more. I hope you enjoyed this video.